my flag is yes.
Okay, I was about to say. See how I noticed that?
It's a good detail.
Details.
Talked about having the best seat in the house in terms of being able to sit back and watch what your offensive line is doing for Josh.
Yeah.
Specifically, what's it been like watching Ingalls?
Oh my gosh, it's violent, very physical. The film doesn't do it justice, you know, and the film looks pretty good, right? You know, just watching him play, his understanding of the game, you'd think he's an 8-year vet, to be honest with you. He's very smart, knows his assignment, knows the running back's assignment, is communicating in the huddle, after the huddle. Really excited about him. He's a very good football player.
Derek, you ever sit back and wonder what it would be like to have stability at wide receiver?
I don't even know what that means. Yeah.
Same guys week in and week out.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, you got me because that was a pretty funny one. I think the most stability I had was when we had Seth, Amari, and Crab. Was it 2 years? And that was pretty fun. You know, but it is what it is, man. You gotta. At the end of the day, no one cares in this league. You have to go out and perform and win football games, and that's number one. You know. But he's stable. He's the stability that I have right in front of me. But to be honest with you, it's kind of exciting. I love the challenge. I wish it wasn't the case, but I do like the challenge because no one expected us in Indy or against Chicago to be able to throw the ball or do anything, and we're able to go out there and play some good football. And so it is a fun challenge. I think we all do wish there was stability and we had our set guys, you know, for the next 10 years, and hopefully we do have them right now. Hopefully these guys are it. I know they hope so. I know I hope so. And time will tell. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster of guys that we've had, you know, here and not here, and then back here, and then not here again. So I just go with the flow. You know, I'm just here to control what I can control and do my job.
What have been your first impressions of Zay Jones?
Zay's a really good football player. As soon as we traded for him, Lee Smith FaceTimed me, who y'all know is now in Buffalo, and he said, I can't believe it, man. He said, you're going to absolutely love this guy. I don't know what happened in Buffalo. To be honest with you, I wasn't paying much attention to other teams and their situations in-house. But what I do know is when he showed up, I was like, dang, who's this guy? You know, I was a fan of his when he was coming out of college. Very productive in college. I remember watching him making crazy highlight catches and 10-catch games all the time pretty much and all these kind of things. And he got to Buffalo, had some really great days also. So I don't know what happened there, but all I know is that he's one of the most polite, humble, hardworking guys I've been around. You know, it means something to him, and I'm glad we got him. And for what we gave up for him, you wouldn't think that that's what he was, you know, worth. You know, so I definitely love the deal, and I'm excited that we have him.
How long will it take, do you think, to get him kind of integrated into things and get him so he can make plays?
To be honest, like the timing and everything, like so it's like we talked about, right? There's timing with quarterbacks and receivers that you have to have. He's a good enough football player to where we can plug him in and he can be productive. To where we get to that second nature type stuff and the second instinct kind of things, that'll take a little bit of time, right? You know, but that's just the cards we're dealt right now. But I think that he's a guy, and he's super smart football player that he can come in and play and help us, you know, which is very exciting.
I know you've been back a couple of days, but I'm interested, how do you typically attack bye weeks? Do you try to get away from the game and recharge, and you still head deep into playbook? How does it go? You know, each year?
Yeah. So I'll never forget my rookie year, just nonstop working that whole week, you know, and getting to the next game, and I'm already exhausted, and just learning more as I'm getting older how to space out that time, how to, especially as I have more children, make more time for them during that time, because that's way more important than, you know, football. You know, so making sure I'm showing up to their fun run, you know, showing up, you know, to their little school things that I can show up to that week, picking them up from school, making sure they see my face. I really make an emphasis to be a great dad all the time, especially on bye week. that doesn't mean I'm not working when they're not there. You know, I definitely have my studies and things I'm looking at, you know, things I'm preparing for. That way my mind doesn't just go completely away from it. Still physically preparing. You know, I don't take the whole week off physically. I think that's pretty dumb, to be honest with you. Then you show up and have to go full speed and you can't do it the way you want to do it. It's not smart. You know, so I say all that to give you a long-winded answer to not tell you all my details, but I have a good plan now that is way better than just my rookie year of just grinding it away. And then my wife saying, "I thought you had a bye week." You know, I made sure she knew we had a bye week.
Does your body feel appreciably different?
Yeah, absolutely. It feels better. You know, especially I know how to take care of my body now, way better than my rookie year. You know, just surrounding myself with the right people, the right food, the right recovery, sleep. All that stuff makes a difference. I know it's like stuff we talk about all the time, but all that stuff matters, to be honest. You know, what you eat affects you in 3 days, you know, and then some, you know. So just making sure I stay on top of that and recovering to where I show up as fresh during this time of year as you can, you know. If you can't get back to 100%, at least you can get back to 98, 99%. And that's a huge win whenever you can do that in the middle of a season.
Gordon has talked about how important balance is to this team and running the ball and being a tough running team, and also saying that you're a big part in that because you have to recognize the fronts, which plays to run, where they're not to run people into something that they shouldn't be into.
Yeah.
At what point did it dawn on you that that part of the game was just about as important as throwing the ball, or have you always known that?
Right when Coach Gruden got here, he said, one of the first things he ever said to me when he was the coach here was, get excited about the run game. And going to a young quarterback at the time that just wanted to drop back and throw it 50 times a game, put up all the fantasy stats and keep going to Pro Bowls, you know, like I was like, yeah, the run game, but what are the passes, you know, what are those? But as I continue to watch these guys win championships and as I continue to watch teams continually be successful, you have to be a balanced football team. And I've always taken pride in the run game, but when Coach Gruden got here, I went to a different level. You know, we have plays where I can get to 4 or 5 different runs off, you know, just one thing he says in the headset. And that takes a lot of detail. That takes a lot of intricacies and the fronts and the coverages and the structure, who's in the game on defense, who's not, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot that we don't just snap the ball and just hand it, you know, to our best player. You know, we don't just snap it and toss it like in Pop Warner. Well, just toss it to the right and hopefully he scores. There's a lot more detail. And it's been fun for me, to be honest, because now I'm playing the game at a different level mentally. And it's really helped me, you know, understand the run fits and all these kind of things. It's helped me in the pass game also. Now our play action game is huge. We're getting big chunk plays, 20, 30-yard chunk plays every now and then off these play actions, which is huge. Our bootlegs are better because of our run game. And so everything is based off of that. So like Coach is saying, man, we're going to be very balanced. If we have to run it 40 times, we're going to run it 40 times. If we have to throw it 40 times, we can throw it. We've proven we can throw it 40 times and win football games. So to be able to have both, hopefully we can just do both evenly throughout a football game. But to be able to do both, to be able to win football games, we're going to have to do that, you know, throughout our career.
Some coaches believe that if you run the ball a lot, by the third, fourth quarter, the defense will worn down. Do you find that time? I mean, there's so many guys around, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you find sort of like beating up the other team that way?
Absolutely. I mean, there's games where I even told Josh Jacobs this one time. I was like, there's going to be games where you're going to go 3 or 3.5 quarters where you only got 50 yards and you've ran the ball 18 times. I said, but I promise you, if you continue to run with that kind of violentness, you know, that kind of, you know, passion, those 2 and 3 yard, 4 and 5 yard gains turn into 60. And you see it all the time across the NFL where late in the games, you know, you're like, why do they keep running? Boom, then it pops. Boom, then it pops again. So absolutely, there's definitely some truth to that.
What do you see from Josh? What do you notice from him as he gets more?
Man, when I think of Josh, I think of a football player. You know, he is a professional football player. I'll say that. Every time I can drop back for all the yards per attempt people, check the ball down to him, and we still get a first down, and we're moving the chains. You know, it's unbelievable because I used to have to force some passes and would have a pick or a big play or things like that. Now we can play clean football and move the ball. We can go on 13-play drives. We'll do it 8 times a game if we have to, you know, because we can move the ball, get points, get off the field, let our defense rest, and then get back on the field and do it. It's unbelievable how good he is. I can give him the ball right here to me and you, and he'll end up over there, make 8 guys miss, and we all high-five each other for a first down. You know what I mean? It's definitely a luxury as a quarterback. It's one of those luxuries you see with these guys that, Ezekiel Elliott or Todd Gurley or Saquon Barkley. Some of these little checkdowns or little easy plays. See all these guys, Kamara, these running backs that have all these catches. Everyone's like, why do they catch the ball so much? It's because we run these plays to get them the ball in space so we can get 10 yards. And it's a beautiful thing when you have a guy like that, because it takes a lot of stress off a play caller, it takes a lot of stress off a quarterback and offensive line, that a guy can do both. So it's been nice, and it continues to open up avenues and different things when we get him out of the backfield and throw it to somebody else on the other side. It's been good for us.
Last one.
Sorry.
I'll get you.
Yeah.
Usually get into these shootouts to the Packers, and they win with offense. But this year they've been winning a lot with defense.
Yeah.
What do you see out of that defense? I know they have new coaching staff. What's maybe changed up that you've noticed?
Well, I know Coach Pettin. I got to know him pretty well in the draft process when he was in Cleveland. I was hoping to actually play for him. I loved him. I think he's a heck of a coach. Very motivating. He's super cool. I thought he was awesome. And obviously his scheme is awesome. They've done a great job with Za'Darius and Preston and Kenny and their guys on the back end, their linebackers. They're all playing great football. When we go out there, it's going to be a tough physical football game. It's going to be tough. They're a good team and with great coaches. So, but you never underestimate Aaron Rodgers. The guy, he can do whatever he wants with a football. He's like a magician back there. It's fun to watch. And have had great conversations with him all throughout my career. And he's been awesome in helping me with stuff and things like that. But hopefully we can beat them this week, and that would feel much better than having to continue to ask him questions knowing that they beat us again.
You kind of got there already, but what makes him so special as a quarterback?
He just gets the ball out of his hands so quick. And then his offensive line, the way they protect and things, he can buy time in the pocket or outside the pocket, extend plays. But what I've always noticed about him is his quick release. When windows are open in the NFL, you got to get it out of your hand, and the ball's got to be there, whether it's 3 yards or 30 yards. The ball's got to get out on time, and he's always done that consistently every game he's played. He's one of the best to ever play. But yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of his, except for this week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.